Welcome to Zen and the Art of Movies. This is part 3 for this Saturday, and the title of this one is The Zen of Agatha Christie. The Zen of Agatha Christie. If you like British mysteries, like we do, you can subscribe to BritBox and Acorn, and you get all these British mysteries. And they go back, it's interesting because you can watch these British mysteries and they go back through decades of history to the evolution of the mystery. From the Sherlock Holmes to the classic Agatha Christie motif. So let's look at Agatha Christie as a motif. Let's find the Zen in it. First of all, there is always a village, a calm village, maybe a lady on a bicycle, and somebody's walking their dog, and they discover a body, and they scream, horror, the horror, the horror, murder, murder, and then the movie gets dark, and the looks like Halloween. And so everybody's in a stew, you see, because the order has been broken. The order has been broken. Uncertainty has come in. Who did it? Who did it? So they call in the detective inspector. And all the other detectives or the locals, you see, all premature judgment. They all say, well, he did it. No, he did it. Oh, we've got our man. Here he is. But the detective inspector always holds judgment. Pauses, doesn't leap to conclusions. So if there's more evidence here, he says, this doesn't explain everything. All these dots here don't make one big picture. Some of these dots don't fit the other dots, you see. So he pauses. He waits. He's curious. And he keeps allowing the situation or the mystery to unfold. And he just explores the different viewpoints and the different dots and the new evidence, you see. And he lets this new evidence accumulate without making a judgment until at some moment maybe he spills a cup of coffee. He's having a conversation with somebody. Something falls over. There's a noise. There's a little surprise, and it triggers aha. It triggers eureka. And all of the loose parts come together in a crash, and he knows who did it. I know who did it. And the other detectives and the police and his squad, they're puzzled. They don't know. The detective, he knows who did it, But in the Agatha Christie movie, detective accumulates all of the usual the usual suspects, and reveals to them how the evidence reveals incontrovertibly, without a doubt, who did it. And now the suspect, caught, you see, with his hand in the cookie jar, can't deny he did it. Or he runs or shoots somebody or whatever happens. But anyway, this is the pattern. Agatha Christie would crank these out like hot dogs or like cookies. She was a mystery cookie machine. She had the formula down. So what was this formula she had down? What was this equation, this recipe that just cranked out one mystery after another? The formula was the same. The content was different. Once you get that formula, it generates content. And the whole your experience, your world fits into that formula, and the formula will generate a new cookie. The cookie will look different, it'll taste different, but it'll be the same recipe, the same ingredients, you see. So this is how, once you get this formula, no matter what your art, you're going to be able to crank out new cookies, new paintings, new stories, new adventures, new movies. You crank out new movies. Your art now is just cranking out new forms of the same recipe or formula. So what is this formula? If you could find that formula, you could crank out movies too. You could crank out crafts. You could crank out cookies, bread. You would be a wellspring of an inexhaustible creativity. But first you got to find the formula. You have to find the essence. And you can't find that in a recipe. You have to discover it. It has to find you. But once you see that recipe, that essence, you can create endless replications of that formula. And each one is new. So people will gobble it up because it looks like a new story, but it's really just the same cookie in a new form. And we like the taste of the cookie because the recipe is in us. The truth, when you discover a formula that creates the art of truth, your recipe, your art, you see, all you're doing is bottling your truth. So Agatha Christie just bottled her truth in mysteries. And she could crank out endless mysteries, you see, because the truth is inexhaustible. When you discover your truth, it's inexhaustible. It's self-generating, like a nuclear fission. It doesn't need any external energy or cause. It generates its own truth. It generates its own art, its own story, its own life, you see. So you have to look at the Zen of Agatha Christie. Then is discovering the Zen in your life. Now, what is the Zen in your life but your truth? If you can discover your unique truth, it will be everybody's truth. That's the mystery. Discover your unique truth that is nobody else's but yours, and that truth is everybody's. Because the truth cannot be divided. But it appears divided. So the Zen gets into this. People don't understand Zen because they think it's some philosophy or some practice or some Japanese thing or Tibetan thing or whatever. But Zen is just awakening to your truth. And the truth is universal, yet it appears as you. So the truth is universal, but it appears as separate. It appears as many. And this is the mystery. This is why movies are wellsprings of insight for me. I see my truth in movies. So I see once you awaken to your truth that is uniquely you, that is not repeated by anything else, you have to discover that because it can't be caused. You can't find it in a manual. You can't find it in a philosophy or a religion. You have to discover it in your everyday life through the pain of discovery. And the pain of discovery is letting go of your old recipes. You throw out grandma's recipes. You throw out all your recipe books. Now you can create meals. Now you can create life out of nothing. Out of nothing. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Anyway, end of time. Subscribe to this. Follow this. Share this. Let's keep the art of movies, let's keep it going. Thanks for dropping in.